It's Group D. D for Destruction, Determination, and indeed Gambit are going to be taking on Space Soldiers for just one spot. This is an elimination game on just day one here for the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters Marseille. And I am here to say hello. I am your host, Alex Machine Richardson, and I have myself, Chatty B and Shawnee G. They get worse every time.
That worked.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Either way, we're going to be hanging out and talking counter with my lads. Now, first things first. Chad, I have a problem.
What's the problem, Alex?
I don't know how I'm supposed to get tickets for Marseille if I lived locally or just fancied a trip.
So what you're saying is if you wanted to come to this amazing venue, Le Dome, come watch some Counter-Strike live.
Absolutely.
See some absolute bangers of teams going down here.
I did.
Well, for the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters Marseille, the tickets are on sale now. You can still get them, Alex. The link, I have the magic too. I can make it appear.
Go on then. Oh, that was risky.
Too early.
That was so risky,
the magic.
Chad.
There it is. See, it was too early. I haven't actually learned yet. I haven't got the spells yet.
What you have to do is you give the fingers a wiggle first, and then you get a feel for it, and then you lock it in.
Okay.
Sean knows.
Oh, I see. We don't have magic in Australia.
You gotta feel it out.
You got to get a feel for it. And I have a feeling this could be close. Now, Astralis have already beaten Space Soldiers convincingly today, Sean, and it's kind of hurt me a little bit physically because of the way in which they lost. You know, I had expectations on, and all eyes are on Space Soldiers. A lot of people doubting whether they can do what they do online, offline. Do we just ignore that Inferno result, or did we learn anything from that result?
I think we ignore it based on how they lost that map.
Okay.
I mean, we saw them lose a lot of advantageous scenarios, like we stated previously. You can't look for them to do that again against Gambit. Gambit also plays a very different style than Astralis. They play very slow. They move throughout the map very like at a glacial pace. It's so slow.
Oh, wait, he's locked that in. Glacial pace.
Yes.
It's a new one.
That's good.
It's a new one. We can use that
I'm stealing that. That's mine now. Sorry.
Serious?
Yep, copyright.
Go ahead.
Lock it in.
Take it. I don't want it.
Fine. All right. So as we progress through this analytical segment at a glacial pace, let's slowly move into. That's mine. I like that. Feels good. Let's bring up the groups. Let's bring that up so you can see exactly what this group does look like. There's a reason these guys are in the lower bracket. We've already insinuated as to one. That was the Inferno result. You can see just 18 rounds of play, and the Turks did not really get a chance to do too much of their favorite video game. Just 2 rounds on the board for them. But look at Liquid versus Gambit. That was a little more resistance.
It looks like it on paper, but it wasn't really. Liquid can control that whole time. You know, Gambit and Space Soldiers going head-to-head here. One of them is going to end up like the Titanic and sink, Alex, as they'll be going home.
Ho-ho! And sink like the boy band. Here's a tough one for you, though.
Yeah.
Gambit are not in the Pro League. In fact, they struggled to stay in the Pro League. They're in the MDL. Space Soldiers were in the MDL. Got themselves to now the top of the league. They're going to Dallas already. Okay. So obviously, online Counter-Strike, Space Soldiers are going to have to beat this one and win it by a considerable margin.
I like what you've done there. You've drawn parallels between online Counter-Strike and LAN Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
And the fact that
it makes perfect sense. Space Soldiers have to, by being in a better league and being at the top of it, beat Gambit, right?
That is how logic works. Counter-Strike maths, I like to call it. But let's look at a few factors right here. Space Soldiers, they made a mess of that last game. Now, if you were walking around, you would have seen that Xantares, he didn't leave. He just stayed there, like just practicing the whole time, staying warm, wanting to be sharp for the next game. Because when you only play 18 rounds of Counter-Strike and you're only winning 2 of them, you're probably not getting that many kills. No. So you might need to warm into it a little bit more. Now, personally, based off what I've seen from both of these teams over the last couple of months, I'm still going to favor Space Soldiers. But Gambit are the much more experienced team on LAN, especially under pressure environments. Adren and Dozier have been playing this game for longer than probably half of the players in the Space Soldiers roster, other than, say, Madja, but they were still at the top while he was playing for middle-tier French teams. Going into this matchup, you have to look at the factor of Gambit turning up miraculously. This is the whole thing. This is the whole theme for this event. It's a brawl. We can't really look at these teams and expect to know too much about what's going to happen. With the likes of Space Soldiers, like Alex said, the onliners, or doing well online. We don't want to call them onliners. They do well online. And then you have Gambit, obviously, who are in a bit of a slump. We highlighted before that they're in a downward trajectory while Space Soldiers are heading up. So it's a weird one.
Yeah, so we saw them play Inferno. So why don't we just kind of walk through that veto, Sean? Do you have any rough kind of ideas of what we're not going to see? I mean, Gambit,
I would be shocked if we let Gambit go to cash. I mean, it actually is one of their better maps, in my opinion, lately. But Space Soldiers is absolutely insane on cash.
That's fair.
So there's no way that they would allow it.
First ban.
Yeah, okay. I actually don't know which way.
Is it going to be train?
Train.
Ooh,
this actually gives Gambit a chance, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
I think this gives them better chance than a lot of the other maps. It gives Mo a chance to have impact on the game. Gives Hobbit a chance to have impact on the game. They can get these long range duels in. I'm not a huge fan of how Space Soldiers plays the inner site. They put a lot of pressure on Major at the inner site. They'll play 1-4 with him opping, like playing retake. it's very different than a lot of teams play the map, honestly. And if Gambit has an inkling of that and have done any prep work, they could abuse it. They could abuse that really easily.
And in a best of one as well.
Yeah, that's definitely something Andy would have done, the coach from Gambit, right? He knows his ins and outs, especially when it comes to doing the analytical side of demo watching and all those bits and pieces. So maybe that's something they look to exploit. But for me, when I look at Gambit and I remember their train games, this was years ago. This was like an MLG qualifier that I played in and got absolutely hammered. This is still when Hooch was on the team. But Adren would just sit in the back lines. Like, he would sit old bomb in that kind of area. Yeah. And as we're coming out Pop Dog and stuff, just with an M4, just destroy us all, and like, we wouldn't have a chance. And that kind of goes along with Adren's playstyle. He's more of a passive rifler, but if you come out into an open place, he always wants to take that duel. He always wants to take that fight. And it's quite difficult to deal with, even if you use your utility properly.
Look at those losses. They stand out to me. Not only did they actually play versus Space Soldiers in the qualifiers for Belo Horizonte, that's going to be going down in a couple of months' time, but also you can see they lost to Big. Two names that you at least expect one of those to go the way of Gambit. They have looked a little lost, and there's only so many different words we can use to describe Gambit's current state of affairs.
Sure. Hobbit was the breakout rookie player of last year from the Esports Awards, wasn't he? He's dropped off the face of the planet ever since he had to take over that in-game leadership role. Things haven't been looking good for him. Those are on your screen right now. I guess he's just a solid member of the team, right? Yeah. He just does his job. You're never really going to him and go, oh, well, they lost the game because he messed up, you know. He just does his job. Sees the newest addition taking over the in-game leadership role. I think there's a lot of pressure on this guy right now.
I mean, he has got not only the pressure from his organization, as they look, he is the last option, right? It's evident they don't expect Mo to be able to lead, and so it's like, okay, Seized, your turn. Try and turn this team around. Adren had a bit of a fragging flux. Like, he actually went through quite a huge peak in form where I was sitting there going, why has this guy not been like approached by the likes of Na'Vi? Why is he not on an international roster? He was really body bagging, and now once again returned to the doldrums of the scoreboard.
Yeah, this is a really unique map, like I said, for Gambit. And I think Doja has a really good chance to shine towards the inner sight. He's always done a really good job of locking that down. Also, I think he's really strong as an Ivy lurker. So, yeah, I think he could cause a lot of problems for Space Soldiers in this matchup.
We'll have to find out. With this next map, though, being Train, in case anyone is unfamiliar and where we're going, it's Space Soldiers on the other end, and I'm intrigued to know their ranking. Okay, so currently HLTV considers them 12th in the world. I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't end here, that could be breaking into the top 10. Yeah,
look, this was kind of the chance for them to continue that online form, and they had a pretty decent showing at the Major. Now, we have to go back a little while to look at that, but they've been trending upwards, and we're saying that a lot. The expectation coming in here is now there is pressure on them, which is something I associated with Maus earlier in the day. They usually come in as the dark horse, no one considering them to get anything done. Here, it's like, hey guys, we've seen what you can do online. You're looking better and better. Your in-game leader has a fantastic attitude. Paz is showing up as that third star that the team needs. All the stars are aligning for the Space Soldiers, and now they have an opportunity to do it on land here. Now, their first game is a blowout. This is the kind of game it's like you didn't even get into it, first and foremost. So mentally, you're probably a bit down that, hey, you didn't even get a chance to show what you're capable of. But second of all, you didn't actually have to exhaust that much energy, right? You didn't have to put too much into it.
It wasn't like a double overtime. You had a huge lead. You lost it. Exhausting both mentally and physically.
And they didn't have to wait that long because the last match was super quick. So theirs was quick. The next game was quick. And now they're bang straight back into it here. So I'm expecting them to bounce back strong. I think they have a pretty good mentality based off of Madra as the in-game leader.
I guess you do have that kind of older, more experienced player to hold their hands through that. I do want to know your opinion on that, Sean, though. We're getting like blown out and being forced to play again in the same day. In terms of mentality, in terms of your experiences, how does that usually play out when you have had such a brutal loss?
I always think it's rough to come back and play at the same day because usually people don't eat, big meals before they play their first match, and then when that first match ends, they're hungry and they want to eat. So then you get in that food coma area where you're tired and groggy and you're a little bit slow.
Yeah.
So I never liked playing two matches on the same day.
Because you've got your meal prep, you've got your like perfectly sliced turkey breast and couscous.
Yeah.
Sean Gare's diet.
I wish that I had some of those things. Yeah? I just had 2 burgers today, Alex.
I've had 3.
Alex has had 3.
Okay. He's topped me.
Yeah, I think they were double patties, so I've actually eaten like half a cow today.
That is...
And I'm hungry still.
Well, maybe we can get you a salad or something.
I think we need to. Yeah, by the end of the event, you'll just see me. I'll just be like this spherical object with a collar on. Anyway.
We're getting off topic.
We have deviated. The game is about to be going down on Train, and this is where my favorite part, not only have we asked the chat for their predictions, I'm asking you. And I don't know if this is going to be as clear-cut as I would imagine. I'm going to get mine right out of the gate. I think this is going to go the way of Space Soldiers. Sean?
This is my upset pick. I'm going Gambit. I honestly didn't want to pick it. I really don't want to pick it. It's not a logical choice.
Is this
Gambit's in terrible form. But this is the one where an upset can happen.
Look, the tournament basically exists on upsets in my mind, or results that we can't really predict. But I think Space Soldiers are going to bounce back. I think they're hungry for it, and I think that they're a better team than Gambit.
Okay, nice. So this is where I'm going to put you two head to head, and I'm going to ask for let's tell you what, 3 reasons, just out of the top of my head. 3 reasons, Sean. Give me 3 reasons why Gambit take train.
Doja at Ivy lurking.
Nice.
He's going to do a good job of basically being able to lurk early and get an entry kill, or they could fake inner and have him lurk out. They could roll back to the outside site. I think Adren does a really good job at T main on ST. So he'll do a good job holding that from pushes. And then on CT side, I really like their inner defense. So being able to stop the inner defense against Space Soldiers will prove to be super strong in this matchup.
I genuinely didn't think you'd manage to get 3. I'm impressed.
Can I
Chad?
just cheat?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, Zentares, Calyx, and Paz.
You're naughty. That's not okay. Once. You get 1 of those.
Thank you.
Congratulations. There you go. That's your 3. Oh, I need to do 3 reasons, don't I? Calyx, Xantares, Paz.
There you go.
You shuffled it. That's good.
That was good. You see that mixed it up, keeping things interesting. You can see the odds as well. Does look like they're actually quite stacked against Gambit. Is that how they work?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
The lower the number, it's like golf, Alex. The lower the number,
stacks
well,
against
I guess
Gambit.
it's not the better. It depends on which way that you want where you want to put your money. Either way.
We're not good at this when it comes to odds. To be fair, we're not really gambling men.
No.
Either way, let's head over to do 2 dice rollers. We do have your casters back to close out the day. We do have... I need to think of a name. Maybe they can help us out. What do you think? So it's like Hank G, Metis, Hank and Vince, Vincey. Here comes Hank, Henry Greer.
They're both British.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe they're like tea.
We could do tea things.
Gentlemen.
Like tea leaves, thieves.
Like the Peaky Blinders.
Have you given it any thought?
Peaky Blinders.
Let's work on it tonight. We'll brainstorm on it.
Okay.
Let's not do it on broadcast. Maybe we'll do it later. So we can work it out. We can come up with something fun, I'm sure.
All right. Well, guys, I mean, it does seem like we've actually got a split desk. I thought this would be all Space Soldiers, but some people are putting some seeds of doubt after that Astralis game.
I think both of these teams are looking pretty woeful right now. I'm not going to lie, especially what we've seen today. I think Space Soldiers just didn't turn up whatsoever. I'm not going to hold that against them too much. It was a difficult game. Astralis looked very hot. This should be Space Soldiers winning, in my opinion. I think that they're the stronger team right now. It's nuts to say that Space Soldiers better than a champion team in 2017. They won a major, for Christ's sake, and now they're going up against the underdog against Space Soldiers. Quite a scary thought, but I think Space Soldiers are the stronger team here. I think who's going to be winning the duels overall. I don't think neither of these teams are necessarily strong tactical sides, but they've got great aimers on them, and hopefully we'll see Space Soldiers come out on top.
I've got it. What if we call them sweet and sour?
Okay. I can do that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Who's the sweet one? Is that me?
I'm pretty sure I'm the sour.
I'm pretty sure Vince is the sweetness. Look at him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then Henry just says teams are woeful and he's the sour. All right, we love you. We'll leave you. See you guys.
I'm always the villain, whatever happens. It seems, Vince. Every single day, I'm the villain of Counter-Strike. But either way, this one should hopefully go the distance. I don't want to see another blowout. We've had 2 of those in a row now. I want to see us have a really strong game from at least both teams for once, instead of one team who's getting completely run over.
Yeah, I think the closest game we've had so far on these 2 is 16-4. So it goes to show how incredibly one-sided it's been. What I will say, though, Henry, and I hate to do this to you, because I know you've got that wind in your sails again. Yep. The last time these teams played each other 4 days ago on train, it was 16-3 to Space Soldiers.
Wow.
So, yeah, take that for what it's worth.
Well, maybe that's good for Gambit. They learned from that loss. Right. They thought this is where we can really rectify the issues we had. We'll see what happens. I do feel like Space Soldiers is the stronger team. They will be starting on the T side of train. For those interested in that sort of thing, that's actually a bit of a disadvantage, I would say, or maybe an advantage, whichever way you look at it. If you come out hot when the pistol start racking up rounds and then get the huge lead, you never know. But we'll get into the first round, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be here on train. First one we've casted that today, and it will be 4 sets of armor for Space Soldiers. An engine, I assume he dropped the P250 for Major. He's given him a bit of a Superman purchase. And we're going to see a clash towards the Ivy. Hobbit trying to get the first couple of frags here. He suddenly does that. Can he find 3? Not quite yet. Low HP trying to let Adren bait off him here, but they still could be in a spot of bother. They're locked in towards a dumpster, and Calyx is looking to take them both down here, which he'll certainly do.
He will. Surprisingly enough, it looked like Hobbit was going to get his triple. Beautiful, crisp headshots. But with Calyx and the bomb in hand, this now gives this round a little bit more spice. It looked like it was going to be pretty much done in the blink of an eye. Instead, Paz now going to be moving through on the green train. Should be able to catch Dozier, who actually is just behind the archway. And Paz spinning around, not sure where he's getting tagged from. The silenced aspect of the USP is turning out to be quite the nightmare to deal with. and Gambit Esports will put it to rest.
Well, we're off to the races this time. The underdog will be winning the pistol. It's not going to be the favoured team. And great play from Hobbit. Got a bit dicey when Khaled got those 2 kills back. But overall, well contained. A good pistol from Gambit. They'll be bringing out the rifles first, of course. They're not going to be force buying Space Soldiers here. So they're going to be going for Deagle no armor, trying to keep the funds strong for the first gun round. Didn't manage to get the bomb plant down in the previous, so it's usually straight away force buy in the T side. CTs were seeing less of that, but so far so good for Mo. Takes down Major. It's going to be Dosia looking for the second frag. Can't quite deliver it though. A Dren can. Keeps them well within the man advantage to be a 4-on-2. Calyx and Paz trying to do whatever they can here. I don't think they'll be able to make much of a dent. I don't think the bomb's impossible at this point, considering it's so far out of their grasp. Hobbit holding towards the Ivy now.
Paz again, though, similar to the last round, able to get so much real estate.
Just gets to watch.
Witnesses Hobbit get smashed out of his shoes mid-air.
Wow.
Backflips and breaks his neck on the way down. Paz may be able to get the one tap, misses his opportunity, and with it should be the round. If he lands that one dig, it's a 2-on-2, he could have gone back to get the bomb.
Yeah, they could have got 2 rifles there as well, so that could have been everything, but unfortunately couldn't connect. Calyx will be punished. Paz certainly had a chance in this round, but one that won't be realized this particular round, I don't think. There it is, sees to close things out. The new in-game leader, as the guys are discussing on the desk. That's when he really disappeared off the face of the planet in Na'Vi, when he became the in-game leader, if you remember. Yep. It's difficult, I think, even for him to accept that responsibility again. He's like, well, that's when I became one of the worst pros in the game. Unfortunately, at that level, he really did disappear in terms of the fragging department. So it's a brave choice for him to accept it, I think. So good luck. I hope it works out.
That's typically the way you improve, though, is admitting you have a problem in the first place. Sure. So hopefully, hats off to him. That brutal honesty is going to come back well from him. Dren just runs into a litter of terrorists, and he is going to be dispatched, but so is Antares on his approach by Mo. So that early exchange pretty much favouring Gambit now, considering the engine's down to 5. They simply don't have a great deal of firepower.
No, they really don't. They will be here with upgraded pistols. I guess that's the one benefit of not getting the armor in the second round. You do get at least 2 attempts, and 3-0 looking almost guaranteed here. There is still a glimmer of hope. Maybe not anymore. Hobbit will get the 3rd frag of the round from the upper ramp there. Major and Paz to try and do anything they can with this. A bomb plant would be amazing. You can see the human rubble decorating the pop dog area now. Blood everywhere. It's an absolute mess. And Paz and Major have to try and clean it up. We'll see whether they can even find a kill here.
I want to believe, Henry, but they have no nades to burst out onto B with. And as soon as they come down ramp or through catwalk, they should be laid down. I think Dozier has catwalk controlled. Hobbit watching ramp. So they're A-okay. Yeah, Dozier just looking up there to get an early warning system if a nade were to flurry over the top onto B side, which he's going to find now. Flashbang to his eye. They do pick it up with one of the corpses in Hobbit, though. He is going to be able to put down Paz. They're able to get the bomb plant. They are. And really, all things considered, that's mission accomplished.
That would do. Absolutely. They get 1 kill and a plant. That's fine. It means they get a really strong first gun around here in terms of the finances. We'll see whether Gambit hold on to the MP9. Certainly a viable weapon towards the pop dog. Hobbit with 3 kills there. And Zantara is opening things up to hit down the Dren. There's the wall bang coming through from the bomb side itself. Mo to take down Zantares. That's one of the more important kills there. Takes down a key player. We've got a technical issue. We've been okay today, you and I, Vince.
We've escaped them.
We haven't experienced any of it. We haven't had to fill, but this is our chance to prove ourselves, whether we can live up to the dizzy expectations and heights of Anders and Moses. We'll see. So it looks like we've got 1 player dropped out on the Space Soldiers side. So I guess you shouldn't really be chatting in the technical timeouts, but I don't have the rules with me. I don't know if that's a thing here. Might not be. Don't want to call anyone out. But they are going to be chatting, working out what the next play will be. There's obviously going to be a full buy of Space Soldiers. He's back in the server. Whoever it was, I think it was Engine. Zantares will be buying up first. And remember, I said in the pregame, neither of these teams considered tactical masterminds, right? They're very classic CS, fundamentals, few executions, nothing too flashy, and it'll be down to the raw firepower. We didn't really see any of that from Space Soldiers today. That game versus Astralis, fair play, Astralis looked red hot. Space Soldiers, though, looked very, very flat indeed. No one really impressed. And usually one of these guys is kicking off and like getting some clutches in or some big opening picks. Didn't really see anything of promise.
As
Gambit find the 3-0, first go round comes in. Mo, definitely in a dedicated AWP. He'll be setting things up for Gambit. Alex, though, will shut down Hobbit very quickly indeed. Brave to push through the smoke, but it does reap the first frag, but Mo instantly replies, taking down Xantares again.
Dren, knowing that at least one player was seen pushing up alley, is going to hide back. He has been mollied out, though. Going to make sure his teammate, the leading Tower of Terrors, comes down into drop. He's able to get one before scurrying away. Important pick, though. It does take PopDog off the table and allows Space Soldiers now to try and make the most of this. Boosted up on top will be major.
I really like this boost, but this time it has gone horribly wrong. Flashbang really should drop off at that point, Vince. Sure, it's a nice boost, and you think you're going to get a pick, but if you get Flash, you can't be a sitting duck. As Adren will punish. Engine, 4 HP, and Adren looks like he's got a bit of a bloodlust going on right now. Wants a few more kills. I don't think he should be this pushed up, considering he has no one really covering his back. Engine on the other side there. It's going to be Mo to find the penultimate frag. And it should be done at this point. Adren to close things out. 4-0. That was the opening kill from Space Soldiers. Calix had to work hard for that kill. Then the boost. Just to reiterate, once you get Flash in such an exposed position like that, all you have to do is press backwards, and you're off the boost and you're safe. And I think he got a bit greedy in that respect. Wanted to try and take the risk to get the kill. It's still an equal round at that point. And here's the play. You can see Adren clearly sees him, gets a couple of kills towards the end. Bomb down, round over. And still with a loss bonus, they can still buy here. Surprising. Not the best buy. You can see they've got no Molotovs or AWPs, for example. But overall, they've got the AK-47. Xantares has no helmet. I mean, he's very vulnerable to the M4s right now. That's not a massive deal, I guess. It is certainly a factor. And they'll go towards inside. Maybe more of a set piece being set up here as Dosia has, I think, an HE in his hand right now. There it is. It will go through. Won't land any damage, but just holds him at bay now. It's going to pull out the incendiary.
Now that flashbang comes down, he should pull the pin and a trigger. Dosia lights them up for a 3-piece, and that's just ridiculous. Shutting down ramp by himself. No support required. Only 12 health left. Engine and Calix. Bomb in no man's land, and surely their hopes have been dashed in the blink of an eye. I mean, that is pretty much the worst start to a round they could have asked for. Dozy just holds down left click.
They were expecting the Molotov as well, but the thing is, if you run through a Molotov and have to extinguish it, you're then grey screening yourself. Sure, you take no damage from that, but you can't see a damn thing. And Dosia, that was difficult 3, man. That wasn't some easy procedure. He did a great job, but still, he'll be very happy with that one. 4 on 2 now. Engine and Calix in another almost impossible situation. It's going to be Mo finding what I thought would be the easy frag, but wow. Engine finds some life there. 3 on 1 now, but exposed and taken down. 5-0. What a play from the ex-god himself. There it is, Dosia. Looks very happy with that. And you can see, so that's the smoke I'm talking about. So you're coming through, that guy even there on the edge of the smoke, he's still got a grey screen. They have no choice. They're fully committed. As soon as one's in, you're all going through. Deep breath, hope he can trade. Dosia, though, ready for it. 3-man spray down. He is actually a very decent inside player. I'll give him that. 0-5 for Major, 0-5 for Paz. It's one of those games again, it feels like, Vince, but still early days. Don't get too carried away just yet. Pistols, CZs, Deagles, some armor, and utility. This will be a set piece almost certainly now. When I say set piece, for anyone who's not familiar, like any other sport, like football, for example, when you're taking a free kick and you have the setup, it's the same sort of thing with smokes, Molotovs, flashbangs. It's coordinated, it's been structured and practiced in the practices.
This is almost a carbon copy of the game we saw earlier against Astralis. I think it was about 7-0 when they started to get a couple rounds, and then Astralis just kicked up a gear again. So Space Soldiers, as you say, it's the same suspects as well. Xantares 1 kill, Paz 0 kills. These are the kind of guys they're expecting to rise to the top. These are the kind of guys to pull the rest of their team across the finish line when they're struggling.
Yep, absolutely. Not really seeing much of that just yet. This could be a very disappointing tournament for Space Soldiers. Another elimination, best of 1 game, but yes, the nade does wreak havoc towards the Ivy position. Another boost coming from Space Soldiers. I don't think it will find much. 45 seconds remaining. CTs have 4 players towards outside. Rifles ready, Mo on the AWP. He'll be playing towards the Ivy right now by the E-box. In fact, he's got his teammate in towards the PopDog. And we'll see whether he can get the first shot here. Not going to quite connect him. It's still 30 seconds on the clock. No bomb planted. Suggests this should be quite a simple round. Overall for Gambit. Hobbit just trying to find more kills here. This is getting a bit interesting, though. 20 seconds, still realistic for Space Soldiers. Low HP. And unfortunately, won't be able to find much with it there. There we go. And we'll be into what should be the 7th round, Vince.
Yes, we will indeed be moving into the 7th round. 6-0 currently the score. Adrem with a 3K that last round to join Hobbit and Dozier at the top of the scoreboard. All 7 kills respectively. Space Soldiers right back in with a full purchase. Will not include an AWP. We discussed this the last time that Space Soldiers played. Paz typically will pick it up, but he doesn't necessarily always go for it. He does enjoy playing with the rifles too, and he's very good with them, so fair enough.
No all purchase as of yet for the T side, to be expected with Space Soldiers. Round 7, no double AWP set up yet for Gambit either, whether they'll have to avoid it, we have to see. As speculative shots towards the Pop Dog. Down he goes into guaranteed frag at this point. Sees staring into a wall as he'll be taken down. 5 on 4 now. Mo will be hamstrung. Lots of players around him, not everything's covered. Hobbit actively trying to find the kill and response.
Calyx flashed through. Not the first time we've seen aggression by Space Soldiers through Ali. And he's getting a lot of maneuverability around the back, but Mo, perfect timing in the perfect position. Will rain down a kill. Bomb's been dropped.
Wow.
And Space Soldiers, who once again got into good positions, they got into aggressive
Yes.
spots, just can't get past that final few players.
Certainly can't, Vince. It's not looking good at all. 7-0, almost guaranteed at this point. Major's got a lot of work to do here. 3 kills to find and even a bomb to plant. First kill successful. Lands in the incendiary though, exposed, and Dozier, well played. Doesn't have to take too much of a risk there with the incendiary down. There's Hobbit on your screen getting it done. A player that's kind of dropped off from relevance. At one point when they were winning the major, for example, obviously that's the greatest example, was considered one of the very best players in the world. And this team overall is a package. Since Fitch got removed, it felt like they kind of all dropped off and no one's really expecting much of them anymore. And they won a major last year.
Really, since then, what have we seen? Just a decline, really.
Nothing really at all. And that's the thing, like, it seems to be a bit of a curse for some teams. You know, like, you think back to when NIP won the major, like, disappeared for a while after that. Obviously, there's some exceptions to that. SK have done very well since then, but Cloud9 won the major, then pretty much changed the lineup and not looking as good anymore. It's a weird thing. It's got something about it winning a major. There's a lot of expectation around it and changes the mindset, I think, of certain players.
Yeah, you've got to wonder if that's maybe one of the contributing factors to why Stewie jumped ship over to SK.
Just knowing that nothing's ever going to be the same at this point. Like, will we ever be able to relive that experience with this particular team? Was it a fluke? Was it something you won't be able to replicate? Is that too much pressure on you now? Either way, we'll get into round number 8, and that's the discussion that needs to be had with a lot more time on our hands. Round number 8, and no AWP, I should say, for Space Soldiers again. AK-47, Paz with no nades whatsoever. Riding that maximum loss bonus. And Vince, we were hoping for a close game, and we haven't really got hyped once yet.
We were hoping the same with the Astralis game.
We haven't had to have any of your iconic moments, your big roars. We haven't had any of it. We need some good moments here.
There's plenty of time yet in this event, Henry, but yeah, this has been going out with a bit of a whimper, and Hobbit, Dread both chiming in instantly. Paz will find Hobbit finally, only for his 2nd kill of this entire map, but it's business as usual for Gambit. They're stamping down their authority. Just Major remains in a 1-on-4.
Again, he was in a 1-on-3 before. I really wish I could have something to work with here and build this one up, because there's just no chance he's going to win it, unfortunately. He's got the bomb, but they're so well positioned. They're not giving anything up. If he gets 1 kill, it'll be answered back straight away. 45 seconds remaining, looking for that 8-0 scoreline, still playing the perfect game. None of the rounds have even been that close so far. There hasn't been like a 1v1, but maybe Major can begin one now. Takes down Mo. That's the AWP out of his hands, at least, costing them some significant investment. 30 seconds on the clock. They know exactly where he is. They've got him locked in. They've thrown away the key as well by the looks of things, as he'll be trying to find anything here, but the time is just being whittled away second by second, and Dozier will finish things off. Major, the in-game leader, looks, again, just removed from this. Doesn't look like they're fired up. No one really saying anything as we get into round number 9 here. Money, it's okay. They've got about 3.5k per player, but they need to take a partial by now. No bombs being planted the last 2 rounds.
I mean, you kind of touched on it there. It doesn't seem to be like they're fired up. No one's really talking. You face elimination if you lose this game.
Yep.
Surely now's the time to call a timeout.
Yeah, let's get a timeout going. Let's discuss and let's get everyone on the same page that this is everything now. There's one map separating us, half a map really, considering 8-0 down. We need to step up. We need to work at what's going on. And yeah, the troops need to be rallied. And this is just not exciting me right now. This is the team that's been like the most dynamic and aggressive, high-skilled team that's been getting to grand finals. And right now, they're looking right back where they were a year and a half ago. Just a team that could cause some damage, maybe, but unfortunately, you're only based on your last result, really. And if this is the performance they're going to post here, the Masters going down in 2 best-of-1s, getting battered in both of them, it'll set them back quite significantly, I feel.
They've lost the first player once again. Engine has been removed. Bomb was in the hands, but they've dropped it towards Bathroom. Going to be easily salvaged. The Space Soldiers look to apply some pressure over on the Ally side. They've been here multiple times. Calyx has typically been getting out of Ally and even getting some kills. So it is going to be a bait. You can see the bomb now transitioning across the box halls. The other side of the map in the hands of Paz. CZ, all that he possesses. That Molotov perfectly timed to stop the fake. 30 seconds coming up on the timer. Smoke going to be used to extinguish the molly, and now all systems go. The bait needs to be sprung. Now is going to be able to fire off a couple shots. Finally does connect on one, not a second. Pazna, meanwhile, is taking his sweet time through Catwalk. Is hoping that remaining player of Dozier has got the hell out of there. But he's about to find out the hard way. That's not the case. It looks like he will get a bomb plant, but at this stage, they have max round loss anyway. It really doesn't matter for Gambit. They haven't lost a player again. 9-0 the score.
9-0, but the bomb is planted, and they do get at least an option to bring out orbs. I think something has to change. The 5-rifle approach, it ain't working. We need to change things up here and maybe get some picks and slow things down and let the orb do some work here. Paz or Major can pick it up. Neither of them will go for it this round, unfortunately. So maybe, I think, to set pieces of this point, when the defaults are going so horrendously, it's not even coming down to clutches anymore. Let's go for smokes. Let's just go for the inside execution. Let's try and challenge Dozier, who's there by himself. We haven't even gone to inside, really, apart from with those pistols in hand. Why have we not explored that? So many top teams will drop an inside execution when the going gets tough. And so far, they haven't adapted. Space Soldiers need to wake up. Still haven't really taken that pause and discussed what they'll do with this as we get into round number 10. It's getting desperate, and we can't have 3 whitewasher sets. We can't. It can't happen like this.
I don't know, man. It's looking like it is going to happen. And
I got some good suggestions on Twitter. I think the new nickname is going to be Vince Vinegar and Henry Honey, kind of like opposing.
Down with that.
Yeah, kind of. I'm not sure if you've seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's like that's the good old estate agent they make. So that works. I think we can bring that to the table as a new product, a new brand.
Works for me.
And speaking of which,
Paz's head just got removed.
Paz will be boiling in vinegar right now as he'll be taken down. More opening picks here for Gambit. 5-on-3. Nothing ready to report. They're not getting anything done. They're not even close to a bomb site right now. That Molotov just holds them out of Pop Dog.
You know, there's a classic English term I'm sure you're familiar with. Flat as a fart.
I've never heard that.
You've never heard that? Is that just a northern thing?
It might be a northern thing, yeah. Never heard of that.
That's exactly what springs to mind here. They are flat as a fart Space Soldiers.
Oh, that's quite good. Well, Calyx going to find a kill here. This is where C's no need for that push at all. I'm sorry, but that's just not required. That's actually opening up the window of opportunity here. Not going to give up the round, but certainly makes things a bit more uncomfortable here, and you can see how one thing leads to another. 3-on-2 now, Mo. Been fantastic so far, but Calyx not giving up without a fight, but Gambit so efficient. Every kill is traded. 10 seconds remaining, Vince, and he hasn't got the bomb. Calyx knows he has to find a kill before picking it up. He'll drop down. Can he do anything with it? I'm not sure, because they can sacrifice a player even if he plants. That plant's not even possible now. It's over. We'll get this kill maybe, but not even that. Goodness gracious. And money should still be fine for another buy, because they didn't have to fully invest into their own, considering they had, over 6k per player with the bomb going down the maximum loss bonus before on an eco. So they got another buy here, but 10-0 down. Yes, if you are listening at work or walking the dog, it's D-Train. Gambit on 10 rounds, Space Soldiers 0. And it's an elimination game, best of 1. Gambit looks shaky this tournament as well. It looks shaky recently, but Space Soldiers, this is one of the worst tournaments in recent memory.
Henry, Zantares and Paz collectively have 4 frags. What's going on?
Yeah, this is just not their tournament, unfortunately. Back to the drawing board, I think. What do you do if Zantares doesn't show up for a tournament? You can't rely on him every single time. But it's not over till it's over, Vince. They could still get 10-5. Maybe we're getting a bit carried away, but rightly so. We'll see what happens here. We'll see if they've got anything in the tank. They managed to get 3 rounds, I think, on Inferno. And will they find any more here? I'm not so sure.
Mo's going to join Dozier, who is watching B, as he has pretty much every single round, typically in the same position, around the ramp train. Doing stellar work. Of course, his triple spray down earlier. single-handedly winning the round for Gambit. Space Soldiers now are setting up for a play onto A. Smokes and mollies thrown into position. Engine will come straight out charging. Hearing the call. Can he land kills though? That's all that matters right now. That's the currency that Space Soldiers have got to deal in. And it's not going well for them once again. And Dread, perched up on the boost, is able to draw some fire. Nice shot by Mo, but Calyx has gone in for 2 of his own. However, once again, the bomb's down on the train, not planted, and it's another horrific clutch situation.
It's Calyx who seems to be the one posting frags right now, and fair play, he's doing a good job, but a 3-on-1, 20 seconds, no bomb down. It doesn't seem possible. It needs to be an ace clutch in this, and he starts it well. Does manage to get 1 kill there, but still has to plant this bomb. Will plant it on the back of the train. It is a bit of a decoy. Dosia takes the bait, but rises to the occasion and takes him down. Oh my goodness, this is all falling apart, and this once fantastic dynamic team who is exciting everyone is going to be crashing out of Masters at this rate. And this is a tournament, I was about to say, I didn't say it, but when we started that game against Astralis, I said, these are 2 teams in conversation at this point for winning, perhaps, DreamHack. Consider all the changes all the other teams have had, all the compromises that have been had. You think about FaZe bringing Exist in, SK bringing Stewie. Like, there's so many different factors that have set this up perfectly for a team like Space Soldiers to take a tournament. But maybe not this time, unfortunately. Paz will get the opening frag, but not for long. It's answered back straight away. Zantares finally showing some form, takes down Adren. Is there anything left in the tank? Maybe there is. Zantares finally showing up. 2-on-1 now. Can he find the ace to really light the fire beneath Space Soldiers here? 30 seconds remaining, and Dosia does bring it into another 1 versus 1. Another clutch, but this time a lot more favorable for the in-game leader Major.
Who has the bomb and a smoke to play with. Is Dosia going to peek out? Could this be the end? No! Dosia, lightning reaction speed, and you can look at his face.
He's loving it.
He's not even phased. He's like, just another day at the office.
He's loving it. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's like the least amount of expression I've seen from winning a massive clutch. Just enjoying himself. Just another day, another dollar, another clutch. It's not getting any easier. And Zantares finally showing form, some sick form as well. That was really nice. Still not good enough for a round. You think in a round where Zantares get 3 opening kills, that's going to be a win, but no. Absolutely not. Difficult buy again. 1 smoke, 2 flashes, and a glow.
The pain train continues. Space Soldiers yet to win a round. 12-0. I can imagine a lot of people tuning in are somewhat perplexed, thinking, hold on a second, is my monitor faulty? No, that's the real scoreline. Yeah. Gambit are ruining Space Soldiers.
Do not adjust your sets. This is legit. And Hobbit is an absolute monster. Going towards Ivy, sprays 2 of them down. And that might be all she wrote, Vince, for Train, because this feels like it's absolutely done. Pack it up. And Space Soldiers will be exiting the tournament. I just don't see them recovering from this one. 13-0 down. And there's still 2 rounds to go. Like, come on.
And it just goes to show again, yes, they won the last time these 2 teams played 4 days ago, 16-3 on Train.
Yeah, you said that.
Means nothing.
Like, yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Gambit have learned from those previous mistakes. And Space Soldiers, this is a tournament they'll have to forget. That engine, and of course, nothing you can do with that 4-on-1. And in terms of money, Vince, it's not going to get any better. They got $3,400 again. So that means either AK's Kevlar or Galil's helmets. What do you go for? I'm not sure. And will we get a pause from Space Soldiers? No. Definitely not.
Of course not.
Just about to crash out the tournament. You've got to pause, boys. You've got to discuss what's going on. And what's this buy? It's last minute, already left spawn. So Galil's, UMP, and a few smokes. It's okay, all things considered. Like, it's not the worst it could be. Yeah, might as well now jump down there, hope for the best. Seas will be dropped. Certainly one of the weaker fraggers of Gambit. You want to try and punish that position. But this is enough. They've had the opening pick several times now.
Exactly. And it's yielded absolutely nothing.
Let's talk about the fragging, though, for Gambit while we've got a bit of a break in the action. 17 kills for Hobbit, 15 for Mo, 14 for Dozier, 12 for Adren. You get the picture. Everyone's just going at it. See, 7 and 7, but it's 13-0. The fragging doesn't really matter that much. We'll get into a 5-on-3. Surely this is the round for Space Soldiers now. It's got to be, but Hobbit's still alive and kicking. Dozier looking for the double spray down, not going to connect the second kill. 3-on-2. All of a sudden, this is looking possible now for Gambit.
Mo and Hobbit got their work cut out for them, but if they want to maintain their unbeaten streak, it's going to have to be their way. Hobbit with a spray, partially through the train, will dispatch of engine. But now Mo has been taken down a peg or 2 by Major. Hobbit surely knows there's a player to his left-hand side. Major was shooting at him for a while there, but hey, Space Soldiers, welcome.
Oof. Well, there's the first round. It took 14 attempts, but they get it. Need to get the second one as well. I don't even think I need to explain why. I'm not going to insult our audience. Everyone should know at this point that this simply won't be good enough. They need the 13-2. 14-1, not going to cut it, I'm afraid. Round number 15 coming in. Can they convert this one? That was a decent attempt. Remember, they went into that with, like, not much at all.
Galils mainly.
Galils and a UMP. They got the initial kill with the UMP. They convert the round. Came down to a 2-on-1 in the end, but finally, something works out for them.
Got to build off it though, Henry, as you say. 13-2 has to be the landmark they achieve. And the pistol, and loads more rounds. Adren, those not going to let it happen. Beautiful spray transfer. Centaurus and Calyx, and Engine, and pass to the mix. Adren goes ham. And Space Soldiers, any hopes of getting 2 rounds out of this half has now been dashed. Major, yet another clutch. It always seems to be him or Calyx in these clutches. And to make matters even more salty for Space Soldiers, they don't have control of the bomb. It's out on the A side of the map. So pick your poison, Major. Go in all guns blazing or a slow, painful death.
Which do you choose?
All guns blazing.
Every time.
100%.
Get stuck in. Let's go. Major, what have you got? We've been left in a 1v3, 1v4 about 15 times. I'm not going to exaggerate. About 5 times.
A number of times.
A number of times. It will just... It's just padding stats, unfortunately, at this point. I'd love to build up a romantic storyline, but he's just looking for a kill he can get and not be at the bottom of the scoreboard, perhaps, because right now he's on 6 kills, 13 deaths. Paz down at 4 and 15. There it is. You can see it all. You can read yourself, so I'm not going to read it out for you. And Major, it's looking like a 14-1 score, my friend. I don't think they used any pauses. I think they did memory, but 10 seconds, even if he kills 2 more. So that won't happen, and there it is, the 14-1 scoreline. What an absolute domination that was. Gambit showing us they still have a bit of skill left in the tank. They're still a relevant team, and this was a very promising result and bodes well for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, seeing Adren and Mo in particular performing to this level is very, very good news if you're a Gambit
Finally
fan.
to see Adren back.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
It's been
he
a
was
long time.
one of the absolute MVPs of the major they won, and then since then, almost disappeared. It was weird. Seized, getting the snus in there. Probably an awkward time to be on camera, but, you know, we all need that nicotine. I'm a slave to it myself. I can't comment.
Very composed and collected. Space Soldiers just looking completely dejected, as you'd expect with this kind of a score.
Yeah, this is one of the hardest places to be in CS. Like, one thing I don't miss about playing at all is this feeling when you crash out of an event. Like, it sticks with you for a week or so. Just that feeling in the bottom of your stomach, like, that was a massive deal for us. That was a great opportunity, and all that practice, all that time, all that effort we put into a tournament to go out in this sort of manner, there's nothing I can compare it to. It's just such a gutting feeling, and it reminds you sometimes of, like, why am I doing this to myself? This pro gaming career, sure, it seems very glamorous and lots of money's involved, but when you do lose, it's really difficult to deal with, especially in this sort of manner. You post like 5 rounds in the entire tournament. Like, that's horrible.
Yep, just 2 maps and you're out pretty much, but can they mount some spectacular comeback? If they are, has to start right here, right now. Engine missing a flurry of bullets. He's going to get punished, but fortunately there is a safety net in the form of Centaurus and Calyx, who have both found themselves frags. Here we go, Space Soldiers. It's more like it. Finishing off Mo, and they are going to pick up the second pistol, but there is a long, long way to go.
Absolutely. At this point, it seems like it's in vain just to make the scoreline a bit more competitive, but we shall see. It's going to be Space Soldiers with a much-needed pistol round there. Gambit don't necessarily have to buy here. They normally would, but with this sort of scoreline, you might just wait till the first gun round. I'm not sure. We'll see. Just some upgraded pistol. That's fine. You're seeing this trend a lot more in CSGO. I think we're moving away from the meta of every single time you lose a pistol, you're forced buying the second. It wasn't a thing in previous iterations of the game. It just kind of became a trend here in CSGO. But we're moving away from it, which is great news, at least from my point of view. I've really never been a fan.
Yeah, and the likes of the CZ and the Eagle still very capable of putting up a lot of danger, you know, to the CTs in this situation. So it's certainly not completely over for Gambit here in round 17. Space Soldiers perched up in a solid position collectively. No early engagements, no early confrontation between the two teams. Gambit scurrying, congregating into box halls, looking to throw that flash in, then push behind it. Hoping, praying that Space Soldiers give them something to work with, but so far, that just hasn't happened. Major about to spot himself a couple of players in his CORSAIR. In they come. The core will also follow it up. He has to pull back, but now Zantara is up to the plate for a double spray, making a triple. Not able to get 4 just yet. Actually whips out his USP and does the damage.
Oh, it might be too little too late at this point, but Zantares does get a lovely 4K there. Remember, the players had no armor. It was a little more problematic than it had to be. Nice shot from Hobbit with the Desert Eagle there, looking to cause a bit more financial damage here. If he wins this round, I'm out. But he does get 2, and that is it. Crisis averted there for Space Soldiers. And we'll get into the next round. It won't be a bite, I don't think, at this point for the Space Soldiers, Hobbits and co. Gambit, that is. So we'll see whether they're taking the same again, Deagles, PD50s. And they'll wait to close this out properly.
That's the thing, they don't even have to feel compelled to rush and buy. They have such a huge buffer of rounds. I mean, they can wait until they've got everything they want. They can have an AWP, they can have full AKs, full nades. No great rush, no big deal. Does mean that Space Soldiers are going to be able to build their economy up a little bit and get some confidence behind them. If, as you'd expect, they will convert these rounds. Major just tagging up, going to be holding down left click, but that's woeful. He hasn't got a single kill on the approach, and that's going to be a bomb plant. Far more than Gambit were hoping for, plus a kill.
Yeah, they won't be winning this round, but there's going to be such a cash injection now for round number 19. Dosia joined with Seized. If they win this, that is absolutely it. But there's very little chance of that happening. Unless Dosia gets the skill with the P250, picks up the rifle, but Seized knows this one's over. They'll be over the full defuse at this point. There it is. 14-4, making it a little bit more flattering for themselves now. But now they've got a massive problem ahead of them. This is where the guns come out. Mo seems to be having a complete run at the map because there's no AWP available Space Soldiers. They didn't bring an AWP once on the T side. Like, sure, I get it. You don't need to have an AWP within the squad or even on the T side, whatever, but it feels like you need to have it as an option at least, right? Like on the T side, there has to be a thing. If it all goes wrong, let's fall back. Let's go for the slower setup. Let's get the AWP out. Let's boost towards Ivy. Let's try and get something going in our favor. Major will bring it out on the CT side. I feel like Paz is the stronger AWP out of the two. Here we go then. Engine. Holding towards Ivy. Smoked off for now. We'll have to fall back to the other side at least. They'll be spamming that right-hand side, knowing what CT's usually do in this position.
Especially considering this is really the Space Soldiers' main avenue of aggression was through alley, so they're going to be even more cognizant of the capabilities, and Hobbit is going to show himself for a brief moment and will be taken down for his efforts. Gambit do concede the first kill. This is going to build more confidence for the Turkish side.
Less than a minute remaining, Vince. What's to play from Gambit? We didn't see much tactical depth from Space Soldiers. That's one of the resounding takeaways I found myself with that first half. Like, no real execution. It's all defaults, all quite desperate, really. Like, I really want to see Gambit show us what the map is capable of. There are lots of options. It's in-game leader's dream in many senses, the options you have in terms of fakes and diversion strategies you can create, and especially the AWP as well. Playing around it can be a lot of fun, but Paz is having some fun himself. Takes down Dren with the UMP. 5-on-3 now. Looking to find another round. Looks likely. Zantares will fight back here. 20 seconds remaining. This doesn't look possible now. Dosia trying to do whatever he can to get back in the round. Can't find more than one, though, and that's going to be it. Over. Mo can't even save the AWP, and might be another eco here. Now these Space Soldiers putting up a bit of a fight here in the second half.
And they will have the option of that second AWP if they so choose. Many teams would occupy the double AWP setup, but I actually don't think they did pick it up in the end. So they're happy enough just to keep Major with the AWP and everyone else on the assault rifles.
4-stage loss bonus, and it looks like a partial buy coming in. They'll get maximum loss bonus into the next round. So keeping themselves on the 2.5k mark, looks of things there. 14-5. 5 threw me off there. And these rounds are always possible. This is when, like I said, you see the set pieces now. This is when we'll see the CZs dropping the smokes, the flashbangs, maybe a Molotov or two to the outside bomb site, try and get the plant down. Once you do that, it's all about snowballing. If you can manage to get one kill, pick up a rifle, push to deeper behind enemy lines, stop the rotations, and here's all the smokes in all their glory. Seeds of the opening frag. This could be it for match point. Adren will spot one on the green train, can't find the frag, whiffs the spray, and he'll still be alive, and Engines on 8. And Adren knows that was his chance to win the round there and then.
Thing is, he hasn't been punished, though. He hasn't been taken down, and the bomb's been planted. But Xantares and Calyx finally step up to the plate. Adren somehow still alive on 4 health. This guy refuses to go down. Mo, in the meanwhile, answers back onto Calyx, but there is the revenge frag. Hobbit from the shadows of drop. And Adren, who started the round, is going to be the last to fall. Xantares puts in a 4K. He had a very poor first half, but to be fair to Xantares, he's jumped up to 18 frags now.
He has. Like I said, that's impressive. But when you've got a 14-1 first half, you decide to turn up in the second. I'm feeling like that's a bit late, unfortunately. It has happened before. 14-1s can be converted to 15-0s. It can happen, right? Stranger things have and will happen. Especially in 2018, it seems, since the whole world's falling apart with this. But that's another discussion altogether. As we get into another round here, full buy for Gambit. That was a close encounter for Space Soldiers. They managed to negate the match point. All power for Mo again. Same story for Major. Can they keep going here? Back attempt coming through. We saw this earlier. Worked out quite nicely for Mo. Not so much for Space Soldiers. What's the play? Another default being deployed here.
You're throwing in the smoke, making sure that Space Soldiers have to keep Engine in position and prime for attack. Very possible Gambit could flash themselves through there, so they're being very cautious. But so far, this will be Space Soldiers on 5 rounds unanswered on the CT side. They've yet to drop a single one. So sure, they're still 8 behind. You know, the comeback had to start somewhere, and they've put some decent foundations down.
Well, here we go. Less than a minute now. Engine looking nervously towards Ivy. They know one mistake separates them and match points and potentially going out of the tournament, losing 2 maps, but at least they're starting to show up in the second half now. 30 seconds remaining. Very methodical round from Gambit here. Oh my goodness, Paz. Why did you pull out your pistol?
Why did that just happen?
It's got to be, obviously didn't mean to do that, but still, what's he playing at? I don't know.
That's just cost him a huge kill, and that could be Space Soldiers out.
Yeah. What? I don't know how to explain that one. Like, obviously, I've played CS for 15 years. The only way I can think, I have my binds on my mouse wheel sometimes. Sometimes that's a thing. If you like somehow is on a half click and it goes over, brings up the pistol, he's got a bind like that. Maybe it's a lack of concentration, maybe a grenade instead. He spammed 2, and I don't know. That was just the end of the round there and then, wasn't it? Pull out the grenade or the pistol, and it's just over. And then you can see Dosi getting the back lines. That's the easiest frags he'll get. And there it is, finishing things off. 15-6. Double orb set up now for Space Soldiers. 8 to 9 rounds in a row.
I genuinely feel that package of play just epitomizes Space Soldiers at this event so far.
Yeah.
Like, you can just caption that as DreamHack Masters Marseille for Space Soldiers, but none of this just yet. Of course, all the odds stacked against them, but as you highlighted, Henry, 2 AWPs in play. Interestingly, still Paz not running with one of them. Instead, he's going to be playing close and drop. Identical position to the last round, where things went a little bit awkward for him.
Inside execution, Vince, and this could be it. Shot missed by Major. Oh, they're getting deep down into all that B-bomb side as well. It's going to be planted. A difficult retake coming up. It all starts with this play, though. Hobbit only good for 1. Xantares still alive. He's been great in the second half. Can he keep it up? It seems so. Not for long. 3 on 3. Mo with the AWP trying to close this one out. They've got no one rotating from Pop Dog, so it's all going to be focused from Connector and CT Spawn. Engine, good play to get towards this upper ramp. They don't seem to know this is a possibility. Should be a guaranteed frag once he comes round here. Can he get it? Narrowly so. Dosia still alive, though. 2 on 2. Time ticking away. There is 1 kill available. This kill has to come through. And Sees, the in-game leader now, has to come up clutch for his teammates. Can't do it. The defuse will come in. Is it Calyx on the bomb?
No, it's Paz.
He's got the kit. So I've got to say, if that was the non-diffuse kit player, that could have fallen apart. But they still keep the dream alive here. It's going to be a reset, I think. Like I said, it's never that easy in CSGO. No one can really, most of the time, not close the game out cleanly. Always has to be this tedious process.
Now, it is the reset, Henry, but they do just about have enough money to scrape together a decent buy. So they're going to be able to get AKs and another AWP in. But if they were to lose this round, pretty convincingly, then we would start to see Space Soldiers edge towards that double-digit mark, where maybe that's where Gambit start to feel a pressure a little bit.
I've always said, as soon as you're on a chase and you get to double digits, it starts looking possible. You're like, well, you know what? This isn't over. Unfortunately, I'd be saying that if it was like 14-7 right now. Once it's 15-7, I'm like, it's just delaying the inevitable. Like, if they were playing like proper lights-out Counter-Strike and I'm not making any mistakes, I think, sure, there might be a chance. And there still is, but 8 rounds in a row still, with the way they've played this tournament, I'm not believing just yet. We'll see, though. I'm happy to be proven wrong, Vince. If it does happen, if the overtime does come through and they win, it'll be one for the ages.
I'm right alongside you, with you. I can't see Space Soldiers bringing this back as much as I'd love to see it happen, but would say so far their CT side has been pretty damn solid. Dozy, though, first kill. Engine bites the dust, and a smoke will be used to extinguish the Molotov. And Dozy, who got 3 kills in this very position just a couple rounds prior, is going to play aggressive again, and he's making inroads. He's getting around the back of Space Soldiers. They're going to have to send someone to deal with him. That's going to be Zantares. Leaves them thinly spread.
Yeah, this is not a comfortable place to be. 5 on 4, sure, Hobbit's low, but then as soon as Zantares takes his eyes off that position, that's when he strikes. Dosia brings them one step closer to knocking out Space Soldiers here at DreamHack Masters Marseille. Hobbit doing the same. 5 on 2, Vince, and a decent effort in the second half, but it feels like this one is done. 5 on 1. Major, my friend, I'm afraid it's another horrible situation for you. And there it is, 16-7. Making it more respectable in the second half there, Vince, but overall, one of the most dreadful performances in terms of an event for Space Soldiers in quite some time. They've always been quite a sprightly young team that seems to find results here and there, close games, great firepower. Didn't see any of that here. It's a brutal format, Sean, I get that, and I kind of sympathize with it a little bit. You go 2 best of 1s and you're out, but it's not the Gambit we know and love. Sorry, it's not the Space Soldiers we know and love.
Yeah, at the same time, of course, it's a brutal format for any team playing.
Yes.
I would be saying the same if Gambit just got knocked out. The fact of the matter is, Space Soldiers. You've got to keep things sexy, Henry.
Yeah,
you know?
well, that's what I bring to the broadcast. Not much else, but an open show. Sorry, cut you off.
The fact of the matter is that Space Soldiers looked woeful.
Yes.
I don't think there's any way around that. Gambit had a very poor first map, but that one they looked much better.
This does happen, though. You think back to some of the biggest names in the history of CSGO. Like, they have had these sort of tournaments before. SK have gone out in group stages before. It does happen. It's a learning process, and you can't all just be romantic victories and great underdog stories. It's not going to be like that every single time. Reality will hit at some point, and this is hitting very hard for Space Soldiers. This is a learning process. Didn't really take any timeouts. Didn't really adapt things. I mentioned going into this one, they weren't considered a tactical team, and that really showed today. If players like Zantares are absent for an entire half, you're going to get punished for that. You're going to be losing 14-1, and that was Gambit looking much better. We'll try and focus on some positives as well. They did look like he had Mo firing on all cylinders, finally looking like he's a world-class player again. Hobbit, same story, actually looking like he could cause some damage this tournament. So I'm happy to see Gambit have some sort of a resurrection, and hopefully, I want to see them at least get to playoffs at this point. Please, can we see them get a little bit deep into a tournament instead of just crashing out ever since that major victory.
I do wonder, though, how much of that is... I don't want to take anything away from Gambit, but how much of that is Gambit playing really well, and how much of that is Space Soldiers and just not really living up to expectations?
Well, we could discuss this all day, Vince, but we've got 3 lovely gentlemen over at the analyst desk going to do that for us. Alex, over to you to close us out.
Thanks very much, darlings. That is, of course, Vince and... I keep calling him Metis. I just realised he's Vince now, not Metis. It's all changed. That is Vince and Henry G. I'm joined by Chad and Sean to round out the evening. And yes, a demoralising defeat for Space Soldiers, a team many had high expectations for. This was their proving ground to many, and this time they emerge battered and bruised and going home on day 1. Brutal format, admittedly, Chad.
Sure.
But I know all of us would have expected at least a better performance in those losses. I mean,
nine rounds of Counter-Strike.
7-2, yeah.
Yeah, wicked maths. Yeah, 9 rounds of Counter-Strike, 2 best of 1s. Nothing else was really shown. I think Vince summarized it very well in the form of, like, we didn't see any strategies coming out of them. We didn't see anything too fantastic in terms of individual prowess, and that's one of the things that we normally look towards, right? Zantares and Calyx stepping up, being these stars for the team, Magic being the strong leader. There wasn't even anything from a strategical standpoint that seemed like, oh, this could be cool. And then Sean was bang on. That inside was the death of them.
Yeah, absolutely. They just got lost. I mean, Sean, you outlined that Major holding it could have been a weakness to be exploited, and I guess you didn't get it as much as you perhaps bargained for. You think some teams perhaps not doing their homework?
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't look like Gambit was very prepared for maybe playing that connector area with the AWP. He was giving them the site, and they just weren't ready to react appropriately. The second time they took the inner bomb site, they did a decent job. they fell apart post-plant. They succeeded on those 2 outside rounds, obviously.
Absolutely, yes. And we do have a player standing by from Gambit. We have Adrian joining us now, at least for a moment. I know you're going to be hungry to go ahead and have a beautiful dinner in Marseille somewhere, but congratulations, you survive. And now I have one very quick question for you. Playing against Space Soldiers, you've done it previously, you know, over the last couple of months, and now you've done it here. Was that the Space Soldiers that you normally play against today?
No, not actually. We just played against ourselves, so that was kind of unexpected city side from us, because we thought it's gonna be some war, like we're gonna make some shaky defense, because we didn't. We just changed a lot since we changed our game leader.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was more like playing against us.
Okay, fair enough. You guys just had that boot camp, right, where you spend a lot of time, hopefully playing a lot of scrims. When you're changing in-game leader like this, and you've done it quite a few times now over the last 6 months, what's the mood like in the camp?
It's okay. We just can't find our way to how to play, because we need firepower and we need some in-game leading. So we just want to find the right way, like how we can compare everything. And yeah, seems like maybe sometimes it's worked, but we still don't know. We didn't practice like didn't practice much to know.
No, it's just interesting you say firepower. However, all of you have firepower in your roster. Like, you have demonstrated you're capable of being the firepower. Hobbit, of course. Mo. It's just getting all of you to do it at the same time. Have you worked out where things may be going wrong at all?
I mean, like, when we decided to change our game leading, when I was first in game leading, then there was Doja, then Hobbit. Everyone started to struggle, like, playing their own game. So the in-game leading is like really damaged our individual game.
And have you considered completely giving it to the coach? I mean, is that something you've played with?
Actually, you have to call in mid-rounds and something like that. Yeah, and you have to like, think not only for your team, and you have to think about the other team that you're playing against. So yeah, it's really hard to do when you are trying to play your individual game.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Adrian. Congratulations. We'll be seeing more from Gambit indeed. They'll be playing and surviving here, at least for the first day of CORSAIR DreamHack Masters Marseille. Gents, first day in the books. Space Soldiers gone home. In fact, when you think about just how many teams we have lost, it's actually some of the biggest names.
Space Soldiers, Tyloo, Valiant, and G2.
G2. God, that's
that one's that stings. I think it's going to sting, you know, definitely the Frenchmen who are going to be coming here to watch on the weekend. And I guess Envious now have to carry that mantle.
In fact, we can take a look at the eliminated teams. There goes G2 from Group A, Valiant from Group B, Tyloo. We never get to see those guys despite their logo appearing on our screens all too regularly. And of course, Space Soldiers eliminated from Group D. It wasn't the first name I thought would be falling, if I'm honest, when I looked at that.
Yeah, it felt like it was probably more likely to be Gambit going
well.
So, yeah, but I think this is, we put a lot, well, I know I definitely put a lot of stock in Space Soldiers from what we've seen. We had all on the Pro League desk become massive Space Soldiers fans because of their attitude, their approach to the game, just how well they'd been doing. And here, just one day, I guess, you know, I don't know if we can say it was an off day. I don't know if we can call them one-liners. I don't know what we can do with this result right here.
Yeah, I think it also kind of, it's a weird matchup for them because, like you said, Gambit isn't in Pro League, so they might not have that experience against Gambit as they do, you know, the other teams in Pro League that they've been prepping for. And it showed. They felt really flat in that last game today.
Yeah, that wasn't what we wanted to see. And I think, look, we have still 3 long days left before we get to the grand finals. And Gambit, you know, when going into a best of 3, there is a chance for them to turn things around and impress us because they have the firepower, like you just mentioned, Alex.
Yes, they do, and the firepower was real today. It is my favorite part of the day. Not only is it the end, but also we get to see the top 5 plays of the day. Let's take a little look at some of these ones. We'll take a walk down memory lane from day 1 here of the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters Marseille. Number 5, it's Fur with the AWP. You saw him just showing Valiance that triple AWP setup isn't to be laughed at.
Yeah, that's an interesting pickup because not normally an AWPer.
Not known to be an AWPer.
Yeah, so... look, this becomes a point of, I don't know, disrespect, but when everything's going your way, you may as well just pick it up, right? Everyone likes the Dragon Ball skin. Yeah,
so now, very recent, Adrian's 4K. This was in the SK versus Valiant's game. That's wrong, in fact. Why is it saying that?
It's all right, SK versus Space Soldiers. We got it covered. This was, well, you would have just called it, I guess, if you're watching the stream. This is just to shut them down. Another blowout, you know? This is another one where getting absolutely dominated helps with the highlights.
Yes, up next, Dupree. It is, of course, that spectacular frag. You love this one, Sean.
This was really sick because this is in a 5v3 scenario. His team has 3 players alive. Really good self-pop flash by him. I think it actually might have come after a teammate's flash, so it's like double flash scenario.
Brutal.
Swings out wide. caught all 3 Space Soldiers off guard.
Yeah, and actually staking with Astralis here. You have Glaive, a 3K as well in the very same game. This was nuts, just how quickly it happened. Watch them just melt. All backs turn, struggling to give him any resistance in his perfect little pre-aim.
Space Soldiers did take a beating, huh?
Yeah.
God, it doesn't end there. This was real sneaky. Tarek's 2K, watch this. Zeus, and then a little bit of a fumble. Kenny could very easily have hit that shot in another day, but I mean, Yanko was upset he didn't go for the knife.
Yeah, but it dicey there, and obviously we were discussing, you know, whether to go for the Zeus or whether to go for the knife in that scenario. Sure, the cash play would have helped, but they got the win in the end, and
yes.
Tarek, he loves the Zeus in drop zone and compliment as well, so something we might see a little bit more of.
Yes, and before we do say our goodbyes, one final thing. Now, Sean, have you ever wanted to know where to buy tickets?
I do. I literally wonder it every night.
Like, have you ever woken up and gone, I need to know where I buy DreamHack Masters tickets?
Well, not last night, but yes, I did the night before.
I knew it. Okay, so
Yeah.
just if you're like Sean and you want to know where to buy DreamHack Masters tickets, I'll tell you. In fact, it's right there. There you go. DreamHack.com/masters, and not just for the one right here, right now. Let's not forget they are available if you want to come and join us in Marseille. I've just seen the stadium getting set up. You don't want to miss this if you're local. Hop on a plane and come join us in the sunshine for some Counter-Strike. And Stockholm, that's right. Sweden is the pretty much one of the very many homes of Counter-Strike, and they are going to be doing September 1st to the 2nd in the Ericsson Globe Arena. That's the big one.
That's quite impressive,
We've
that
driven
building.
past that. Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah.
And that's coming up. You can get tickets at the very same location. So with all of that said, a final thank you to our sponsors. It is, of course, CORSAIR.
Yeah.
And Monster Energy.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Smashed it. There we go. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here. Tomorrow's matches, first of all, because we finally got them for you. We can go ahead and wave a magic wand, and this is what's coming up tomorrow. Dive into that one, Sean.
Oof. FaZe versus Cloud9 to kick it off.
Woo!
Best of 3. Ooh, man, both new lineups. And then we have Mouse versus NIP.
Okay.
That's going to be a pretty good one, actually. NIP looking really good with Dennis lately, no?
Yeah, I mean, they smashed SK.
They're all going to be
Quote, unquote.
bangers, I think. Like, Na'Vi trending upwards, Fnatic, obviously, WSG, and Katowice. Liquid we've only seen a little bit from with Taco, but Science look good today. And Astralis continuing that online form, absolutely banging out Space Soldiers early.
Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. And you have all of that to look forward to. It's just day 2 of CORSAIR DreamHack Masters Marseille. From all of us here, though, we'll see you tomorrow for more of the same.
The Digital Pass, your exclusive way to explore the arena from home.